Hey Browns fans, it's time to gear up for a pain-free 2022 NFL season for your Cleveland Browns with new friends of the show, Buckeye Law Group. If you've been injured in a car accident, a slip and fall, a work accident, or even if you've been buried into the ground by Myles Garrett or stiff-armed by Nick Chubb, you need to call Buckeye Law Group today at 1-800-411-PAIN. Their attorneys will fight for the money you deserve. Buckeye Law Group's attorneys have recovered over $1 billion for their clients throughout the entire country. So don't make the mistake of calling just any other attorney. Call attorneys you can trust, and best of all, they're Browns fans just like you. Call our friends from Buckeye Law Group at 1-800-411-PAIN. After 911, call 411. That's 1-800-411-PAIN. 1-800-411-7246. That's Buckeye Law Group, located at 1300 East 9th Street, Suite 1210 in Cleveland, Ohio. Buckeye Law Group, proud fans of the Cleveland Browns just like you.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to get your intro on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail on the drop-down menu. We need more fan intros. I know the season is looking more and more doom and gloom. I think we have a 0.4% chance to make the playoffs now, but the Dogs Podcast is still going strong, so we need your fan intros. So help us out. It's a lot more fun when you guys do them than if I have to do it or we use repeats. Today we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson's second game, a loss to the Bengals. We put up a whole 10 points. Before we do, though, I want to remind you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. If you prefer to just listen to the podcast, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Lastly, if you're looking for more Dogs content, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, get access to the private Discord, you get an extra episode every week. Fantasy playoffs or fantasy leagues are entering the playoffs now, so that's exciting. So some people getting ready to win some Dogs merch. We do Dog Pack Member of the Month, where you get a free Dogs t-shirt, you get a signed poster. It'll be worth a quarter maybe one day, but it'll look good on your wall in your man cave or your woman cave. Is there such thing as woman caves?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're looking for more access to us, you want to hang out with us, talk to us during the game. If you guys enjoyed the live and getting our reactions and talking to us during a Browns game, jump in the Patreon. You join that private Discord. Everybody's in there. It's basically like a live, only on the Discord. You don't have to try to watch us. So if that's something you enjoy, jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. So, Browns played awesome in their must-win game to keep the season alive. Lose 23-10 to the Bengals. Season isn't technically over. I think I saw Jake Trotter tweet out we have a 0.4% chance to make the playoffs, but it's basically over.
For all intents and purposes, yeah, let's just not even.
It's basically now these last four games are all about getting Deshaun Watson back up to speed, him learning Stefanski learning him, and if you guys heard that was my computer just going crazy because ESPN just plays random ads all the time. But yeah, like I said, it's just about getting those two synced up. So because that and playing spoiler, like we got the Ravens coming up. I do not want to, especially we're probably going to be playing the third string quarterback. We need to win that game.
Yes.
We need to beat the Steelers. There's some games down the stretch I want to win just for pride purposes. So stick with us for the rest of the season. We might not be playing for the playoffs, technically, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I agree. We were kind of talking about that, I think. John, you put it the best. What did you say about the playoffs? It's not impossible, but it's stupid to even talk about.
Correct. That's exactly.
So we're not going to talk about it, but I do like what Blake said. I kind of, after I kind of cooled down after that nasty loss yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad we lost because our playoff hopes were slim to begin with. And now we can kind of just go out there with Deshaun Watson and say, get back up to speed, because the strides he took from game 1 to game 2 were huge. He looked so much better. Absolutely. You saw some more vintage Deshaun Watson coming out in that game. It's like if he can make that kind of a leap from his first game to his second game, let's just put him out there. No pressure with the playoffs, no must-win games. Just go out there and relearn how to be you on the football field.
I think he just needs to trust like what he's seeing too, and like game speed. I think it's still a lot's going on. There was a couple times yesterday where I was like, holy crap, there it is. You know, like there's the athleticism, there's the explosive plays, there's like laser throws.
That throw where the dude was hanging on him to DPJ.
Insane.
Right.
There it is.
Yep.
But then, you know, you see plays like where Jesse Bates just watches him and he just throws it a second late basically, and he just stares down the receiver. You know, there's things like that. So I think, I mean, like you said, week 1 to week 2 of, you know, the Deshaun Watson experience or whatever you want to call it, man, he looked incredibly better. I mean, I think, you know, if anybody went out of that saying, and even today I'm reading stuff like, you know, we should still be rolling with Jacoby Brissett. I'm like, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
People are so I'm going to go off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Please leave my editing like
I'm going to go
at a
off.
minimum.
No, do it.
I've
Just
been
go
arguing
crazy.
One guy on Twitter saying he's a bust. Who gets labeled a bust after 2 games? Especially, he accounted for over 300 yards and a touchdown yesterday. And I bet you, I would say he was only at 70% of what we should expect to see. I mean, come on, guys. If I took out his name and I put Jacoby's name up there, you guys would be talking about how well Jacoby's playing. And obviously, we're not comparing Deshaun to Jacoby because that's not the standard. He's, you know, we're holding him up to other people. But 276 and a touchdown isn't an awful game. Now, the pick was a bad pick and he missed some throws. You could make the argument he was the best player on the field for the Browns yesterday. Who played better than Deshaun yesterday?
Man. Nobody on our offensive line, that's for sure.
No.
Like I said, he threw for 276. He ran for 33, 5.5 yards a carry, a couple big first down runs, and in the one bad pick. I mean, you could, like I said, make the argument he was the best player on the field for the Browns yesterday. And people are saying, my dad, as soon as the game's done, text me. Deshaun sucks. If we want to save this season, we'll put Jacoby in. Jacoby hasn't had a stat line like this all year.
And save the season. It's
Yeah,
over.
what's up with
I mean,
that?
as far as the playoff, like we just talked about, that's over. So
The people would be losing their mind. If Jacoby threw for 276, ran for 33, and had a touchdown, people would be like, Jacoby played well enough to win this game. The penalties are what let him down. But I understand that Deshaun, we're paying him a bunch of money. We give up a lot to get him. That doesn't mean you can hold him to an impossible standard.
right.
How many drives started 1st and 20? How many 3rd and shorts became 3rd and longs? You know, they got their first touchdown on all penalties.
Yes.
At one point, they had more yards from penalties than they did on offense.
Right. Yeah. They were moving the whole way down the field by no skill or anything of their own. They did nothing to get there.
The officiating, like the roughing the punter, yes, it was a penalty.
That was bad, yeah.
But some of this stuff, it was the PI on Ward.
Yeah.
I know
Little ticky tack.
he tugged his jersey for the 10th of a second. It affected the play 0%. It did not slow Chase up. It did nothing. And to call that, it was so ticky-tacky. The left tackle for the Bengals false started every other play.
Yep.
He didn't get called one time.
Well, so did ours, so.
It got called. This dude, he's so afraid of Miles. He's leaving a half a second early. He did it 20 times. Didn't get called one time. Unbelievable. So the officiating was atrocious. And it's just, I'm so tired of people talking about, it's been 2 games, guys.
2 games in 2 years.
And he improved significantly.
Yes. We scored 10 points because the guy you want him to still be in overthrew a wide open receiver.
Right.
And because we had 100-some yards in penalties.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Deshaun Watson, I don't really know. Like we've already said, from the first game to the second game, he looked so much better already. And I mean, he was starting to get more comfortable with his running. You know, his legs, he looked better. The athleticism was there. And you really started to see, like, okay, it's only the second game this guy's played in 2 full years almost. Like, he even said during the week last week, you know, talking to the media or whatever, they were saying that he even admitted, like, game speed and game conditioning, I'm not there yet.
Yep.
And the only way to get there is to be in the game. Well, it took him one game to get, what'd you say, Blake, 70% of what we can expect from him.
Yeah.
That's amazing to think in just 1 week he was able to do that. So think about next week. Maybe he's up to 85%.
This dude's in preseason mode still. Everybody else is in mid-season form.
Yes, exactly.
Not even just – don't even think about him being off for 700 days. Just think about even if he only had missed 11 games, you would not expect him to come back in the first game after missing the first 11, say it was for injury, and think he's going to be, like, perfect.
And to go head-to-head with a guy that everybody crowns as an elite, top 5 easy guy. He technically outplayed him. I mean, he was short 1 touchdown technically.
And he didn't get to play against Grant Delpit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You take that where and
he doesn't have Jamar Chase.
What? I mean,
apparently the Browns don't know who he is.
Yeah, there's a lot of game-changing plays, but I mean that.
Think about
Grant Delpit bite on the flea flicker was nail in the coffin. Like if you're leading a comeback, I felt like that's where I was. The punt was bad too. The block punt, like where, we're trying to send all out, and Tony Fields just runs the punter over for whatever reason he was.
We get the ball back there.
Yeah,
right.
It's so
in great field position, for our 40.
So
worst case,
people are they're bagging on, and they're just nitpicking Deshaun because it's the cool thing to do, and because they all loved our former quarterback. They're all Baker cucks.
Right.
If you don't know what that is, look it up. But you can't, other than the pick, go find me a play where like he's the reason we didn't play well. We had 12 passing first downs. They only had 11. We had 6 rushing first downs. They had 8, so pretty close there. We ran 70 plays. They only ran 61. We had 344 yards. They only had 363. We were within 19 yards of offense on them. Total drives, 11. Passing, 273 yards, 227 yards. Each team had 1 turnover, 2 sacks for 3 yards, 2 sacks for 12 yards for the Bengals. The difference in the game. We had more time of possession also, 31-52 to 28-08. Pretty even game as I'm reading this off the stat sheet.
Yes.
Bengals, 4 penalties for 36 yards. Browns, 9 penalties for 98 yards. There's your
game. That's your ball game.
And they made us incredibly one-dimensional. They shut Nick Chubb down.
Yes.
Nick Chubb couldn't do anything yesterday.
Rushing. So that
he had
was
a couple nice plays, but
71 yards rushing for the Browns. 33 of those came from Deshaun. 136 rushing yards for the Bengals. They couldn't run for crap against us in the first game. They ran it all over us this game. And it needs to be discussed. The Browns' offensive line, which was once considered maybe the best in the league, is now a liability. They are awful. Since Posick went out 4 or 5 weeks ago, they're the second lowest graded offensive line in the league.
Jeez.
They're terrible.
Conklin I don't know if it's regression. I don't know if he's hurt. He doesn't look good.
Teller looks bad.
Teller hasn't looked good.
Ever since he came back from injury. I think he's still not 100%.
I watched Wills jump off early 10 times easy yesterday. And I felt like half the time they didn't even call it, and I'm like, whatever. But then jump early and then still get burnt. Still get beat.
They're all doing poorly.
Yeah.
The only person on our line playing really well right now is still Joel Bitonio.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right.
And that hurts me to say because I love Wyatt Teller.
Yeah.
Which I forgot to bring our Wyatt Teller.
Yeah, you didn't bring the Christmas card in, man.
All right, we got a Christmas card from the Tellers.
That's pretty awesome.
But
I was going to set it right there in front of
I'll bring it. But Froholt at center is absolutely killing the offense. I cannot believe there's not somebody out there. I mean, I might be able to play center better than this guy.
No, you couldn't.
Reader looked all worldly yesterday.
He led him in tackles, I bet. I wonder how many tackles that guy had. I'm about to go look.
And then today they're talking about, like the Bengals. I'm listening to like sports radio and stuff, and they're talking about, the Bengals going into another tough game. And they're like, man, if Reader plays like that again, Tom Brady. I'm like,
he's not going to.
I think that's a flash in the pan because you're going up a 4-string center.
A 4-string guard.
Oh, yeah, good
center.
point.
Who's playing center.
Yeah,
He's never played center before. I don't want to be he shouldn't be in there.
Right. He's
I don't want to
way
be
out of position.
And it's ruining Nick Chubb's season.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch, whoever is in the either A gap or head up on the center is penetrating immediately. We can't get anything going in the run game because of that. It's awful. It's terrible. Jed Wills always has his untimely penalty. We'll have a drive going. He gets a hold or a false
Conklin
start.
was trying to get some of those yesterday. He was like, hey, those untimely penalties, I got you on this.
It just
take a little pressure off of Wills over there.
So again, did Watson play perfect? Did he play what we brought him in to do yesterday? He played pretty well, in my opinion. But no, he wasn't like the guy like we are hoping to see. But he is not the reason that we didn't.
No, but the thing is, what was encouraging for me is that we saw the guy at moments yesterday. Mm-hmm. We saw some of those throws, some of those plays that he made. It's like, okay, he's here. He's just not all put together yet. Like you said, it's perfectly what you said. He's in preseason mode. Everybody else is in midseason form. Is it going to take him a couple weeks to get up to speed?
The second play of the game on the little fake handoff, and he came back left to Bell, and the dude was right in his face.
Yep.
That's a sack if it's Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
If it's Baker Mayfield. That's a sack.
Yeah.
So there were definitely glimpses. The pass to DPJ on the last play of the game for us.
That fade?
Yeah.
Which, let me just say, I don't know about you guys, I hated the play call.
I hated it. Run it on first or second down. Don't do it on fourth.
Fourth and this is it. Like, if you don't make this, it's over.
Let this guy let Deshaun decide.
Yeah.
Don't
let him make a play. Not I hate that fade call on fourth and game.
If you're gonna run the fade, run it to the back pylon.
Yes.
If you're gonna run it to the front pylon, it should be back shoulder, which you probably don't have the chemistry with DPJ to do yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I did not like that play call. So I'm sure we have voicemails about play calls and stuff. So we'll go ahead and
we definitely do. Andrew's got the first one here because I think it was probably the most fitting for all of Browns.
My boy Andrew Jackson.
If you're a Browns fan, listen to this. Let us know if this was you yesterday.
Guys, I'm tired of feeling like this. What are we doing? Deshaun just throws an interception. I don't even know know what's going on. Like, what can we do? Like, what the fucking God damn it.
Did you edit that out, or did you put that in there?
No, I helped him out a little bit on that one.
He texted yesterday. It was like, guys, I just left an angry voicemail. I'm sorry for whoever has to listen to it.
That was good. I like
that wasn't really angry. That was just like defeated.
The first time I listened through that, I laughed so hard.
It's crazy. I don't know, for some, I was upset yesterday, but I really, I don't know. I thought we were going to win that game. And as soon as the flea flicker happened, I was just like, that's it. We've put ourselves, this is Brown's mistakes. We're super undisciplined.
Oh, man.
We're so undisciplined. And I'm not even saying, just particularly that play. If you look at the penalties and just, things that happen over the point of the game, yeah, we can make, and plays were made. There was so many plays where I'm like, man, that's technically a season-ending or a season-saving kind of play, but just we're not disciplined. Cincinnati, I thought they looked terrible yesterday.
I'm not convinced. I still don't.
I don't think they're good.
That Cincinnati's a good team.
I just don't get it.
We had their number early, the first quarter and everything.
P-Ryan was dropping wide open passes.
Yeah, and we were stuffing the run, and Joe Burrow looked, shaking. Got to say, Myles Garrett
played well.
He played. Oh my God!
That's the kind of game I felt like Myles was there from beginning to end. His presence was felt. His name was being said over and over. They were moving him around. Yeah. He was getting pressure. It was great.
He's established himself the last few weeks now, where I've been like, okay, yes. Myles.
I agree. He's been playing well lately.
Yes,
maybe getting further away from the car wreck.
Maybe
getting healthier.
Yep.
But no, I agree. I think they've been moving him around more. Yeah. Which helps. Not only does it help scheme-wise, but you have to think it energizes him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yesterday there was a play where he was in the A-gap standing up.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of well, here I go again. I'm going to go against their best offensive lineman 45 times this game, and they're just going to, run around me.
Well, and that's the thing. You go against the same lineman the entire game. I mean, that guy gets in a rhythm with you, too. Yeah. I mean, he gets better defending you just as you might hopefully get better at getting past him. So it makes sense to move him around.
I'd like to see them. So you know what that reminded me of? Dallas does that with Micah Parsons. They'll literally just move him all over the place and then just full send him.
No, so you can't.
I know they're different players. I know technically they're different players, but like to see him in that, it's different. It's a different look.
The idea of moving around.
Yeah.
Michael will play like inside linebacker.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
You're not going to put Miles at inside linebacker.
I agree.
You can stand him up anywhere on that line.
Absolutely.
You can move him anywhere you want on that line.
Yeah.
And have him stand up. He's a freak athletically.
Yeah.
If you imagine putting him on the edge standing up and give him like a head start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just anything. So no, he's played really well. He's doing his part. He's answered the call. I feel like probably the last month or so.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well. The Bengals fans are just they were talking a bunch of crap on Twitter yesterday. And I said a lot of Bengals fans seem to forget that for most of their existence they've been right beside us in the laughing stock of the league category.
Yeah.
they've had a little bit of brighter moments, but not
recently.
much. Well, and even like the Andy Dalton years, they would at least have winning records, get to the playoffs, and then get eliminated. Success.
I went back and looked like the last 10 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
They only have like 2 winning seasons or 3. It's in 7 losing seasons, including like a 2-14.
Yeah.
So
Joe Burrow year.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow.
They just had the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
So they're just very cocky for a team who they made a Super Bowl run where they got all the breaks. They still only won 10 games last year.
Right.
If the Browns win out, they'll finish with only 1 less game than what the Bengals won during their Super Bowl year.
The reason those fans are cocky, though, is because they just all got done being Steelers fans when the Steelers were good. And they were being cocky back then, so it's just kind of what they do.
It's just, fair. I'm like, guys, you guys, for most of my life growing up, you guys have been right there with us as ambassadors of suck.
Yeah.
It's funny, but... All right.
Well, I was just going to say before I play the next voicemail, ambassadors of suck, though. I mean, so Tyler Boyd didn't play yesterday. Or he did, but what? He went out with a finger.
One or 2 plays, and they haven't said yet
injury.
what happened, but it's either he's out 2.
So their top tight end, Hayden Hurst, didn't play.
Correct.
And T. Higgins played a couple.
One play. Played the third down.
Hamstring injury, didn't play the rest of the game.
Yep.
So they've got a whole bunch of backup, like, number 4 or 5 receivers out there.
Dudes I've never even heard of.
Yep.
People we've never even heard of that were barely scraping the depth chart, I'm sure. And Jamar Chase. And somehow we don't guard Jamar Chase.
He's still got 15 targets.
15 targets. He's the only. First of all, he's one of the best receivers in the league. We know that.
Absolutely.
Like the team should know that.
Absolutely.
They should already be scheming for him. Now he's the only receiver you have to worry about? Take him out of the game.
So here's the crazy thing is like, and Blake was real big on this. He's like, why aren't we doubling? And I agree. Why aren't we doubling? But then, do you want Grant Delpit, trying to shut down Jamar Chase? Everybody was talking about like, like Denzel, it's a pride thing. Like, he wants to be one-on-one with Jamar Chase. Denzel.
But you have to go look to Denzel's game is getting up in the guy.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
He's not
playing.
He's every snap, he's 6 to 8 yards off the ball, giving one of the best wide receivers in the league a 6-yard sprint at him.
Why are we jamming him? Don't you think that somebody would go up and say, "Hey, jam him at the line"?
Yeah, that's the play call though. That's Joe Woods.
I just don't understand it.
Like, you should have been jamming him at the line with safety help over the top. So if you did get burnt, the safety's there to help. You tell Denzel, don't give this guy a clean release. We got you in the back.
Right, exactly.
We're bracketing this guy.
Practice squad guys make plays.
I saw a tweet from this guy on Twitter. He does the OBR films breakdowns. It's exactly how I thought. Browns defense played fine. No significant gripe about any one thing personnel-wise. The biggest indictment was Boyd and Higgins not playing, and we had no schematic answer to bracketing Chase nonstop and forcing Trenton Irwin and Trent Taylor to win versus coverage. He had 15 targets, 10 catches on 15 targets as the only NFL wide receiver on the field.
That's what I'm saying. It was infuriating to watch.
Clear the Browns couldn't adjust in game. And that's what we've been saying for Joe Woods' entire tenure as defensive coordinator. The defense overall yesterday played pretty decent. You look, only 23 points. One of them was on Grant Delpit doing Grant Delpit things, biting up on the flea flicker. But the fact that you couldn't adjust to take out, at least limit, make it hard. It's like every other pass went to the guy. Joe Burrow only threw the ball 33 times. 15 of them went to
every other
Chase.
pass did go to him.
Yes.
And the thing is, we've said it before. I think you've said it this way. Like, our defense, when they play well, they're playing well in spite of Joe Woods, not because of him. I mean, you look at I say this every freaking week. Look at our defensive roster. The names on that roster. I mean, defensive coordinators would be just chomping to get at that roster, and we suck. When we play well, it's because of the talent of those players, not because of the coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which goes right to what you said about we couldn't adjust.
And I think that the next, 4 games that we have, we're going to probably be evaluating some of these guys as whether they even are still with the Browns. And it's crazy to say that because there are talented guys on here, but I think at this point are we moving forward with some of these guys? Because I think they've poorly played their way out of Cleveland.
Listen up, Browns fans. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is my go-to when betting on the NFL this holiday season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code TPPN. Place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Happy holidays, everyone. Hey, Browns fans, the holidays are here. Achieve gifting greatness when you give the gift of perfectly aged, tender, and delicious Omaha steaks. Omaha Steaks have put together a delicious selection of various gift packages to make shopping for the ones you love nice and easy. Go to omahasteaks.com and take advantage of 50% off site-wide. Plus, use our promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout, and you'll get an additional $40 off your order. Omaha Steaks are the greatest steaks and just all-around meat products I have ever had myself personally, which makes me love even more giving Omaha Steaks as gifts to the loved ones in my life. It makes Christmas so much easier. Mom and Dad, you guys get a package of Omaha Steaks. The in-laws, grandparents, brother, sister, everybody, you guys, Omaha Steaks for all. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, because the next time you get together with that special loved one that you bought the package for, they're going to say, hey, I'm grilling out today. How about you come over and enjoy some of these Omaha Steaks that you got me for Christmas? Don't wait. Order today and beat the shipping rush. I know from my own personal experience, I ordered everybody Omaha Steaks for Christmas, and they arrived 2 days later. So get in right now. You still have plenty of time before Christmas. Order Omaha Steaks for the loved ones in your life. Visit omahasteaks.com. Take advantage of the 50% off site-wide sale, plus use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Get that extra $40 off your order. Minimum order may be required. Merry Christmas, everybody. Here's a voicemail coming in from Mike.
Hey, it's Mike. What can I say? Another disappointing loss, and then we lost to the Bengals. I thought we had their number. I thought Myles Garrett lived in Joe Burrow's head rent-free, but I guess that's not the case this week. I can't say I'm surprised, though, because I knew all good things have to come to an end. Our defense and special teams, they did so good the last couple weeks, and then they were just not there at all. The penalties, man. Like, I've never seen so much yellow on a field before. It blows my mind. It's like Big Bird ran through the field and left a bunch of feathers. I don't know. It's just stupid penalties has always gotten the Browns, and it's just disappointing that basic football fundamentals, we just can't figure it out. On a brighter note, though, I mean, Deshaun played a lot better, so that's good. It's going to be looking a lot more promising next season, so I'm looking forward to that. But, I mean, hey, it's being a Browns fan, right? Better luck next year. All right, guys, thanks for what you do. And go Browns.
It's kind of crazy because I didn't think the defense or special teams were really like horribly bad. Like there's a bad penalty of the running into the punter. I thought our punter had some really nice kicks yesterday.
DPJ's doing a much better job in the return game.
I thought the defense, for other than maybe a few bad plays, so there's two that come to mind: the flea flicker, and then where P. Ryan runs into the line and then Clowney
my God.
I don't know if Clowney thought he was tackled or I'm not sure exactly what he saw there or didn't see there, but he just ran into the line and then just bounced out.
Was that Clowney? Because I watched the replay.
Yeah,
I was
Clowney
thinking, why didn't we wrap up? But he had like one arm around him, and it looked like
I think he thought he was down.
They were
I don't
pinned
know.
up against another player, so he couldn't like get all the way around. And then his arm just kind of fell down, his leg, and then he just
kinda
weirdest
stopped.
play.
He just
It was
stopped.
very weird.
The play that stands out to me too is I think we went down and scored, and then on the very first run play, Mixon goes up the sideline. For like
Yeah.
40.
Yes.
At fourth quarter?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like,
huge
my
play.
God.
What, 50, 60-yard run or something like that?
And it seems like the defense, they do that all the time. They will we'll finally get the stop and then the score. It's like, all right, defense, we just need that one more stop now, and we can get the ball back and make this a game. Oh, first play, 50 yards.
Yep.
All the time. All the time. Not just this year, for my whole life. My whole life. That's what's been happening. What did you guys think? So I guess I'll use this time to think. A lot of talk. How hot is Stefanski's seat?
Go ahead, Johnny. You want to
Yeah, I
start
was
it off?
actually thinking about that earlier, and part of me wants to say it's pretty warm when you hold a team to 23 and you don't even have a shot. But I'm very much on the side of we just got Deshaun Watson back. Things are going to be looking a lot different next year. I don't. If it were up to me, I would still be keeping Kevin Stefanski for 1 year because Deshaun is going to be Deshaun next year for 17 games, and if Kevin doesn't know how to play with that level of talent, he's going to have to go. But I got faith in Kevin. I just don't think that Deshaun's first 2 games back are going to be the right gauge to see how Kevin's going to coach with Deshaun at quarterback. 10 points is a terrible look, though, so I can definitely understand why some fans would be saying, let's get Kevin out of here while we can, because we got Deshaun back. Next year we got him for the whole season, so let's just start fresh with something new. I do get that. I really do.
Yeah.
But I like Kevin, and I think replacing Kevin's going to be a lot harder than some people think.
I
That's what I said.
completely agree with you. buddy.
Okay, so we fire Kevin Stefanski. Who are we hiring? Don't tell me Sean Payton. He's not coming to Cleveland.
No.
He's not. It's well known he wants to be out west. He's not coming to Cleveland. So if Sean Payton's off the board, you fire Kevin Stefanski. There's not just good coaches walking around out
You're
there.
probably
There's-
going after unproven coordinator
Right.
guy
Correct.
again.
Yeah.
Correct. So just like it takes a player time to adjust to a new system, it's going to take Kevin Stefanski time to adjust to Deshaun, to see what he likes, what he does well, what he doesn't do well, how he wants him to call plays to him in his earpiece, all that kind of stuff. The biggest thing, the 10 points, we already talked about that. To me, that's penalties that stopped us from scoring. But the thing that scares me the most about Kevin lately is we seem so undisciplined everywhere.
That's what I was going to say.
We're supposed to, he supposedly preaches smart accountability, toughness, and I think we're mentally weak as any team I've ever seen.
I agree with that.
And I'm not going to say, I guess the toughness thing is irrelevant to me. In terms of I don't know how to gauge that, our guys playing through injuries or whatever. I would say that our defense doesn't play tough,
Smart.
Yeah. But the penalties, we are not disciplined at all.
And for years now, this isn't like a 1 year, a one-off. This is
Last year and this year, the
Yeah.
penalties are terrible. Some of the decision making, the 4th-and-1 play in the first quarter. I understand that in theory, it worked. The guy was wide open.
Yeah.
The player just didn't execute the play. But at the same time, why would you bring in your backup to throw this
that's-
pass
yeah.
when we just traded 3 first-round draft picks to finally get a franchise quarterback? They would never take – imagine if the Patriots, during their dynasty, if they tried to take Tom Brady out on a 4th-and-1 to throw that pass. He'd have broken every Microsoft Surface in sight.
like I.
You know what I mean? It just I am a Kevin Stefanski defender, but every week it gets harder to defend.
Sometimes
some
I
of the
think
stuff.
he outsmarts himself. He overthinks himself because I get what he was doing with that because Jacoby Brissett's been playing quarterback all year. They've been doing the 4th and 1 QB sneak all year.
Did anyone think that was
week-
going to be a QB sneak, though?
No,
I did not.
But see, then last week they did the thing where they brought him in. They're like, are they QB sneaking? And they hand it off. And it's like, oh, now they can do this thing with Jacoby Brissett. So this week it was let's play action pass. And you're right. It did work. The guy was open. But that's an example, like you said, we have Deshaun Watson. Don't overthink it, Kevin.
Don't make it harder than it needs to be. It's 1 yard. You have Deshaun Watson.
That's all I was going to say. You have not only do you have Deshaun Watson who can get a yard easily with his legs, but Deshaun Watson historically has thrown a legit beautiful deep ball.
Yeah.
Why are we bringing Jacoby Brissett in?
That's a first down.
A guy who's known to like not throw a great deep ball.
And even then,
Right.
You're bringing in a guy who's literally just. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's done warm ups and stuff like that, but hasn't thrown a ball in games. You know what I mean?
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How confident are you that that's a first down or a touchdown if we keep Deshaun in? Because I'm very confident.
I mean, it's tough. That's like Monday morning quarterback stuff. It's tough to
So
say,
what's the play
but
call then? Are they just going to turn around and hand it off and get stuffed? I mean, you don't even know.
I think if they hand the ball off, it gets stuffed. We couldn't do diddly squat.
Nick Chubb averaged 2.4 yards a carry. Kareem Hunt averaged 1.5 yards a carry. David Njoku averaged -2 yards.
Okay. Well, and to your point, Justin, I mean, Brissett, Blake, I think you just said too, like he's historically not the greatest deep ball thrower, and he's coming in the game cold.
Yeah.
He's coming off the bench cold. He's not in game. He's not loose. He's not warm.
So then it's like, so say you want to bring Jacoby in, do a little trickeration, do this play action. Why has it got to be a bomb?
Right.
Why
Throw a
couldn't
5
it
yard.
couldn't be a 5 yard out?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Jacoby
a tight end leak.
Yeah,
on the backside.
yes. Something. Every time I see us lining up to go for it on 4th and 1, or I think
Broken play.
he's got to have. Yes, but I'm thinking he's got to have something in his back pocket, something they've been working on all week. That if they get the look they want, it's like guaranteed. But it never happens that way.
Right.
It's almost always a broken play.
Anytime you try to throw a 40-yard bomb for a touchdown, the percent. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it technically it probably could have worked, but I didn't understand that, and I'm okay with taking the shot.
The play was good.
Because
It
people
should have
are
been
like,
Deshaun,
take
though.
the points. We lost by 13.
Run it,
Kicking a field goal right there. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it changes
But at that
the
point in time, it
dynamic
was
of the
0-0.
Yeah, I don't know. It's my thing too. I'm like,
run that play on 3rd down. If you bring Jacoby in on 3rd and short, on 3rd and 1. Well, I don't know what it was on 3rd down. I guess was it 3rd and 1?
That's true. I'm not sure either.
But you know what I mean? Just like, I don't know, just don't outcomplicate it. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Like, yes, football can be, harder than what I think. Try to explain football to somebody who likes soccer from another country and watch their heads explode. So yes, football can be a difficult game. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's just about the guys and Joes or whatever instead of X's and O's. So just let your Joes go out there and make plays.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying in the second half. Quit trying to run the ball. We honest to God, I would have quit trying to run the ball in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I was just screaming, just let Deshaun go play football. Let him run around and make plays because the run game is with the center we got in, there's no point. Chubb should get like 10 rushing attempts the rest of the year because we can't block.
We talked about that before the show. Like now that the season's, essentially the playoff thing's out of the picture, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Maybe if we're going to really like try to establish the run, let's do it with Kareem Hunt because maybe we can extend the longevity of Nick Chubb, kind of keep some mileage off of his legs.
What about Ford?
That's what we talked about. Jerome Ford. Let's get him some experience in there, and then let's just let Deshaun Watson throw the ball 50 times a game if we have to. I mean, he needs to develop chemistry with Cooper. He'll be here next year. DPJ and Njoku. Let him get the chemistry down with these guys. Maybe we start blowing people out toward the end of the season. That's awesome. That gives us some energy into next season.
I'd like to win 9 games. Think about how
get a winning record.
Think about how frustrating the season is. And even if, when we miss the playoffs, if it's with 9 wins, you can go, even in all that turmoil, Kevin still led us to 9 wins.
True.
You know what I mean? Don't flame out and be 5-12.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go win 9.
There's a chance, maybe, small chance. If we win 9 games, Deshaun looks super good. It might entice somebody to want to come to Cleveland.
I think without a doubt that could happen. I think that probably is already an option. There's going to be guys next year that are free agents that are going to want to come and play. And I'm not even saying offensively. I'm saying you're going to have defensive guys saying, this kid's pretty good.
Might help you get a better defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in newsflash to all the fans out there booing Deshaun, you might not like Deshaun. All the players on your team do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever noticed.
The players on the other team
all the players on the other teams, they're
Yeah.
always coming up to him, dapping him up, talking to him. They did jersey swaps with people on the Texans, so you might not like him, but the team that you root for, they all like him.
See, and that's the thing that we've talked about all offseason too is take the bogus media out of it and all this, the legal stuff that people have been, alleging against him. No one says a bad word about Deshaun Watson.
No.
He's by all accounts, he's like the greatest community citizen there can be, and he's a great teammate, great leader. I'm pumped to see what he can do these last few games of the year.
One thing I will say, I'm probably more excited to watch Browns football after the playoffs are not going to happen than I've ever been before.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. Yes.
You're not going to get more of the same. You're not going to get.
We saw him get
4
better.
pump fake Baker Mayfield.
He is going to keep getting better this
Yes.
year. And we're not making the playoffs, but we have something to look forward to.
Right.
And it's not like this guy's 38 years old either.
No.
He's a kid.
super young.
27
He's
years
young.
old. I like what Blake said. Let's play spoiler. Let's ruin some seasons for some other teams that we hate anyway. We're still in a great position for the.
Let's start Saturday.
Yes,
Yes.
I would love to beat the Ravens.
Like
Just
bad.
because they just talk nonstop crap. So if they lose to us, I'll be insufferable.
Kind of like they are anyway.
Yep.
This episode of the Dogs Podcast is brought to you by Built Bar. Come on now, everybody. We've all had those protein bars that are chalky and just nasty. And as soon as you take a bite, you're like, I really got to finish this thing. Built Bar is the world's first ever candy bar protein bar. This is a protein bar, but man, you swear you're eating a candy bar. To give you guys a good idea, it's kind of the consistency of a Three Musketeers bar, and they have so many delicious flavors. I mean, you bite into this thing, you don't think you're eating a protein bar. You don't think you're eating something that's healthy for you. You think you're eating a good old junk food, snack food, candy bar, baby. These things are awesome. Order yourself a box of Built Bar. Try all their different flavors, or just try the ones you love, whatever you want to do. These things are perfect. Fill your cabinet. You will not regret giving Built Bar a try. And right now, if you go to Built.com, use promo code BARK, B-A-R-K, when you check out, get 10% off your order when you order today with code BARK at Built.com. You guys want to do a voicemail from Phil?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's Phil. Well, I'm pretty damn pissed off because now I get to hear the Cincinnati fans chirp and chirp all week, even though this is the first one they've gotten in like 3 years. But anyway, Deshaun Watson did look better. Times he still looked rusty, which is to be expected, honestly. But what I really want to talk about is the offensive line. Yes, the center has been hurt. We're on like our fifth center or whatever it is. Most of the other starters were there today, and they played like garbage. I don't know what the hell's happened. I really just don't understand it. Like, they have no push. They're getting bullied. Nick Chubb was basically a non-factor today. Watson was running for his life most of the game. That's really concerning going into next season, since the loss today is pretty much the dagger. So give me your thoughts on the offensive line. I'm really concerned about it right now. So there's always next year.
As you should, Phil. As you should.
As we all are.
I think it was Dog Pack Member of the Month, Phil.
Yeah?
So I'll say this about the offensive line. I know you said 4 of the 5 starters are in there, but the one guy is so bad, and he's playing arguably the most important position on the line.
Right.
Left tackle and center are your 2 most important positions on the line, and the center is so close to the quarterback. You know what I mean?
And he gives the ball to him.
Yeah, it's the guy, the nose guard or the D tackle can get. I mean, it's the shortest path, and he's lined up over our worst lineman. The guy's blowing up every play. An offensive line is all about continuity and playing as a unit. If one guy on the line doesn't do his job, it makes the whole line look bad. So that's why the whole unit looks bad with just one backup in, because that one backup is – I thought the worst lineman I'd ever watched play football was Cam Irving. And this guy makes Cam Irving look like a Pro Bowler.
I know, like I almost want him back.
Yes.
Yeah, and keep in mind with Deshaun or with any quarterback, you don't have to give the quarterback an extra 5 seconds to make a play. Deshaun needs a fraction of a second to be able to escape that pressure and run for a first down or find a receiver, or it gives the receiver that much more time to get open because the receiver's going to get open eventually. So,
did you watch our receivers yesterday?
Eventually. Our line was real bad, but I guess we'll probably, next year.
That's a good point about them playing like a unit too, because we talked about Conklin and a lot of those penalties yesterday, and who knows how many like holding penalties might be an indirect result of him feeling that extra pressure of, well, I'm getting no help from this direction toward the center, so I got to do a little, I don't know.
I'm kind of over Conklin, man.
Oh,
he's been a bust low key to me. I'm kind of ready to move on and let James Hudson.
His first year he was good.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he's hurt a lot.
Ever since he hurt, what was it, the tricep or the shoulder in his second year here? It's been not great.
Not great. And I mean, we have young, talented guys. I mean, I don't know if they're ready.
I'm hearing. What do you think about? So Conklin's probably not back next year.
I agree.
They'll move Jed Wills back to right tackle and let Hudson try to play left tackle.
I'm okay with that because Wills has already shown that left tackle might not be the spot for him.
What if he goes to right tackle and he's a stud?
Sucks.
And he's what?
I'm going to say he's a stud.
Well, great. Then that would be cool, but come on. Let's not. That's a very Browns fan.
Does that mean
thing.
he puts in more effort on the right side than the left?
It's just his more natural.
It's where he was in college, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be super, super awesome. To answer your question.
Correct.
Your what-if question. Yeah, hopefully.
Where the bad line is killing us right now, too, isn't necessarily in the passing game because, like you said, Deshaun he's athletic. He can make some people miss. It's in the run game.
Yeah, we get no push.
It's making and it's killing the run game so much. It's making us one-dimensional.
And some of those times Deshaun got caught from behind and sacked, just Deshaun getting better in the next couple of weeks, I think he's going to be able to evade some of that pressure.
We were 4 of 15 on third down, and that's because we can't run the ball. So even on like a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 2, you'd think, well, it's 3rd and short. This could be run pass. It's only a pass option.
Yeah, early in the season, you saw our offensive line like overpower the defensive line usually, and we were able to get that push and get those extra yards to get that first down. But it's not happening right now.
No. We're getting blown up.
Yes.
Like there's guys in the backfield immediately. Like Nick Chubb. There was plays yesterday where he had time to like figure out what gap he was going to hit and stuff like that. But there were so many plays where it was just the play was over before it even began.
And you're seeing the Texans last week and the Bengals this week. They're still we haven't seen teams adjust their defensive philosophy against the Browns in terms of we thought as soon as Deshaun came back, teams would start to relax the box. They're not doing that. They're still just. We're stopping Nick Chubb, and we're going to make you throw to beat us. Now, Deshaun had a decent game. I still think the Browns need a wide receiver. Doesn't need to be – I'm not saying we have to go out and get we don't need to make an A.J. Brown kind of move or something. We just need a fast guy not named Anthony Schwartz.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We need a fast – he doesn't have to – I'm not asking for a perennial Pro Bowler or one of the top 5 guys to come in. I don't think Deshaun needs that. That's what I always bagged on Baker – saying he needed, a Pro Bowler at every position. We just need somebody who is fast, who can take the top off the defense a little bit. Because as much as I love Amari Cooper, that's not really –
it's not his game.
No, he's a precise route runner. GPJ is a little bit of that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but we just need we need a burner.
Yes.
We need like Will Fuller.
Yes, or like a Mike Williams.
Ugh.
Right.
Or something, a Mike Williams who can stay healthy. Something we need – that's the kind of player we need. Again – I'm not saying we need to go out and make a move for some top 5 guy. We just need somebody who fits the system to complement these other dudes to really round out the pass game.
Yep. Absolutely. This is our last voicemail here from Devontae.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Even though we lost the game, I do think there was some positives to take away from the game. We seen Deshaun Watson show flashes of getting back to being Deshaun Watson and not Deshaun Kaiser like he was in the Houston game. So I think that's a plus. I think our defense played pretty decent. We just kept them out on the field too long just because our offense couldn't get going as much as we would like it to. But I do think we saw flashes of what this offense could be going moving forward in the future. Watching the game, I do think before halftime, Kevin should have let Cade York kick that field goal. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if he missed it, but if he would have made it, that could have changed the whole complexion of the game. So, yeah, those are my takes on the game. I think next year we'll be looking at a better team. So, go Browns.
He wanted it too.
I would say the percentage of making a Hail Mary pass at the end of the half is either equal or less than Cade York making that.
What would that have been, like a
67-yarder or something like that?
I mean,
the ball was like right around the 50.
Well, I just don't understand that either. Like
all you hear people say is he makes 70-yarders in practice.
And it's not like it was like a windy, rainy, snowy, nasty day. It was fine.
And here, I feel like Kevin kind of takes him out of the game a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a fourth-round pick, we don't really deploy him the way you would think.
So is there something in practice? I mean, is he bad in practice, and so Kevin doesn't trust him, or what?
I think Kevin just likes to go for it.
Because I feel like, I mean, obviously they have the greatest kicker of all time, but the Ravens would have tried that field goal before the half. 100% they would have tried that. And I'm not saying Cade York is Justin Tucker, but he's supposed to have like a Justin Tucker type leg. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to be able to bomb the ball. So why wouldn't you at least let him try? I guess, worst case scenario, it's blocked.
And return for a touchdown.
We've seen that happen before. Sure. But, I mean, I feel like you can't coach scared.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So I would have let him try.
I think Josh is right, though. Kevin's the guy to go for it. He's always going for it on fourth. That's his identity. That's what he does. He likes 7 more than 3. You know,
but it's too bad. It turns in it's 0 more than
usually ends up being 0.
It's usually 0.
I wish I knew what York's kicking numbers were on the year, because to me, I hold my breath a lot every time I'm at a Browns game and he kicks. I know we're in Cincinnati, and I feel like he's been very high and low. Like it's either real good or real bad.
I feel the same way, but Blake, bring him up when you get him. But they did flash his numbers on the screen the other day, and I remember looking at the graphic thinking, oh, that's not as bad as I feel like it is.
I want to say it was like, it feels like 10 for like 20 or something like that.
But his field goal percentage 76.9%.
It's pretty good.
It's tied for 30th.
Wow, that's really bad.
His extra point percent is 93.3.
Okay.
That's tied for 22nd. So
what's first though?
That's what I need to
because if the first is like 94.5, then
exactly. That's what I'm thinking is probably the case. I'd be curious to see the league ranks.
So you said it was 76%. What
almost 77. 76.9.
How many kicks does it give you on the year? What it is, or
he is 20 of 26.
See, that's
4 of 4. 4 of 4 on from 20 to 29.
Okay.
7 of 9 on 30 to 39.
Okay.
5 of 6 on 40 to 49. And 4 of 7 on 50 yards plus.
See, when you break it down like that.
So honestly, on 20 yards to 49 yards, he is he's missed 2. He's missed 3. All year.
And some of those have been blocked, right?
Well, and you're asking him to kick whatever it was, 67-yard field is over 50%. If I'm doing,
Yeah, on 50 plus, he's over 50%.
Okay, well, throwing a Hail Mary is definitely not 50% chance. So, kick the ball. But I loved that they kept showing him on the broadcast, and he was like,
he wanted
it, which I love that. I like to see that out of my young guy, Yeah,
so I just don't, what's going on in practice or whatever that, I don't know. Let the guy.
Maybe he just needs to earn a little trust with him too. He's a rookie. I don't know.
You got to put him out there.
If I'm Andrew Berry, I'm like, hey man, we drafted this guy. Let him kick the ball.
High value pick.
And
we could have had inside defensive lineman.
It's just that's and that, like, again, does he make it? I don't know, but if he does, that's a momentum swing
For sure, because
it's a confidence builder. It's, we're all pumped. I don't know. I would have tried it.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, okay. And we didn't score a touchdown, so who cares? Like,
it was 13-3 at half, correct?
Something like that.
I think so.
Makes it a 1-score game.
Yep.
And we're getting ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do absolutely
we went 3 and out.
squat. Yeah, with that drive coming out of half.
I wish I could go back and see how many drives started behind the chains because of penalties, or how many plays, second down got called back because of penalties. I don't have time to do that.
I mean, I know just off the top of my head, and I'm not even saying on offense, the one where we actually finally got to Joe Burrow and it was illegal hands to the face by, was it Wright?
Yeah.
Was it Wright or was it Thomas?
No,
Yeah, it was Thomas.
It was Thomas, my fault. That, another huge play. And I think that was part of that drive where you said they literally just came all the way down the field on penalties.
Yep. Well, yeah. No, that's what I was going to talk about that earlier. Like, we finally get a sack, Clowney gets it, and he was ticked.
Oh, he's super
real mad.
pissed.
He's
Super pissed.
I think defensively, I guess we'll do this real quick before we get out of here. If you have to think who's not here next year, I think Miles is the only one. Miles and I'm going to say Winfrey are the only two back on the D-line. Winfrey he's played pretty well the last couple of weeks.
He's coming alive.
So, like,
If he keeps the
maturity-wise.
stuff together, yeah.
Yes. Taki will hopefully be back after ACL. JOK will be back.
Yeah.
And Fields will probably be back because he was a draft pick. But linebacker-wise, if that's what you're bringing back next year,
We're in trouble.
We need some help.
yep. I would imagine, Ward will be back, Newsom will be back, Emerson will be back. I don't think Greedy. I don't think Ronnie Harrison's coming back.
What about Delpit and JJ?
John Johnson, I think, will be back because of
I think it's
his contract.
yeah.
Yeah.
Delpit, he'll still be on a rookie deal, right?
He's
Yeah, I
only
think
in
so.
his
This is his
second or
third year.
Yeah.
He'll be back. But I think there's only going to be like maybe 6 or 7 guys from this defense back, and it's going to be all new people after that.
Andrew Berry's going to have some more building to do.
Yep, we'll see. Any other? Are we all voicemailed out?
That's it.
All right, I think we pretty much covered everything.
I think so.
Let us know what you guys think. Are you guys still interested in the rest of the season, or have you guys checked it out? I know we're all still pumped. Thank God for the Deshaun Watson trade. Gives us something to look forward to these last few games. We appreciate you guys being here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just bummed.
It's a funny side bet. Who do you think wins more games the rest of the season? Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield?
So here's
I'll say this. That last throw that he had against the Raiders.
best throw he's had in 2 years.
And now he got bailed out on a bunch of penalties. The one was a sack. And they're just all roughing the passer. You can't even sack a quarterback anymore.
The thing with that,
The one in the
that
Chargers game last night. Oh, my God.
So I passed out, but all day, all I heard, I had multiple guys come up to me and go, "Did you see that sack last night on Herbert? Or the hit on Herbert that got called for a penalty?" And I'm like, "Nope." They're like, "It was disgusting."
It wasn't even a hard hit.
Yeah.
I don't know it's ruining the game.
it is.
I think if they call roughing the passer, it should be reviewable. Everyone should get reviewed because they're literally changing outcomes of games because of that. Baker, I've obviously been hard on Baker, and I 100% thought he was going to be awful in that game. Not because of him necessarily his skill. I don't think almost anybody could.
He got there
perform.
one
Crazy
day before
situation.
the game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Got the playbook on the plane.
I didn't even know. I didn't think he would even know that many plays. They had to run the same ones like a couple times. There's no way he knew that many plays.
That is just the type of thing Baker Mayfield would do.
Yes. Now he'll go out and play really, and then we'll see what happens next week. Because you don't get to play against the Raiders every week.
Correct.
One of the worst defenses in the league, who's given up now 4 times double-digit leads in the fourth quarter.
He gets the Packers and the Broncos.
Yeah, well, let's watch him during that Broncos game.
Yeah.
Throw a lot of picks.
Let's get past the Packers. If it was like at the beginning of the year Packers defense, I'd have been like, oh, yeah.
Last time I watched him play the Packers.
Merry Christmas.
What, 3-4 interceptions?
4.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, no, but that's another thing, too. A lot of the Baker bros who pretend to be Browns fans are chirping about Deshaun only put up 10 points, and look what Baker. I'm like, guys.
How badly do you wish we had the Rams on our schedule at the end of the year so we could have played Baker against Carolina and then Baker against LA? That would have been sweet.
It's like, guys, we saw Baker have good games for the Browns. Nobody ever said he can't occasionally have a good game.
No, and we talked about this in one of our Patreon threads over the weekend too. Like Baker, I mean, he was the number 1 overall pick in the draft for a reason. He's got the physical tools to play quarterback. He has.
He's just too short.
Not mobile.
In between
but
the ears.
we see other. It's for me. It was always the mental. That was his holdup.
Yep,
that was his holdup.
I completely agree with you there.
So we'll see what happens the rest of the year for the Rams because they're not very good.
No, they're awful,
and I just don't think he's got it in to like carry them anywhere. He's at nobody. They're bad.
He'll look good. Now, when he won't look good is when Cooper Kupp comes back.
I don't think Cooper Kupp.
Then he'll start throwing the ball to the fans and stuff.
That's good. I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to play, so he's probably just going to ruin Jefferson's career for 4 games if he has one.
So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Again, we appreciate you being here. Let us know what you guys thought about the game in the comments. Let us know what you guys think about the season going forward. Again, if you want an extra episode, if you want to hang out with us more, jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. We need more fan intros, thedogspodcast.com. Tap the voicemail on the drop-down menu to all the Dog Pack members. We'll see you guys on the After Hours show. To everybody else, we'll see you guys later this week when we preview the matchup with the Ravens.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.